Today we're going to be checking out the Corsair Scimitar Elite wireless gaming mouse. This mouse is designed for MMO gamers, but it's also incredibly useful if you're someone that's trying to improve their overall workflow productivity setup. So included in the packaging is of course going to be the Scimitar Elite wireless mouse, a braided USB-C to USB-A charging cable, a USB-A receiver which can be found under the mouse in this compartment, and you pull it out. This USB receiver is going to be using Corsair's SLIPSTREAM technology. And then we're going to have this metal tool, and the point of this is to adjust the position of the side buttons here, whether they're positioned towards the back or the front, but we'll cover that more in a bit. So this mouse is going to have 16 programmable buttons, which is a ton. But if you're an MMO gamer, this is going to be perfect if you have rotations that you need to go through all the time. There's going to be 12 buttons here, and then there's going to be a middle mouse button here, and then you have your clickers as well as your mouse up and down and the click. There's not going to be any mouse tilt left or right. The mouse is going to feel fairly comfortable overall, and you can see that it is going to be a palm grip type of mouse. On the right hand side of the mouse, you can see this is where your ring finger lays, and then your thumb goes on the buttons here. Now, something really cool about this mouse is that they included this little tool to adjust the position of the buttons. And the way this works is on the bottom of the mouse, there's going to be a little bolt there, and you just unscrew it with the tool, you loosen it. And once you loosen it, you can basically position these up and down and just slide it around. Naturally, it's going to gravitate forward all the time because of the spring system. So you can kind of position it how you like if you want it more forward or more backward. And once you find a position that feels good, let's say I like it slightly back like this, I can just save that position and then screw it in like so. And now the mouse buttons are going to be positioned like this. So that's going to be a huge perk for comfort, because some people have larger hands and some people have smaller hands, and this mouse is going to make it a lot more comfortable for either hand size. And speaking of hand sizes, I do have mid-sized hands, and this mouse does feel pretty good to me out of the box like this using the palm grip, and I did have to move it back a little for it to feel better for me. Not all the way back, because that felt like my thumb couldn't access all of the buttons on the mouse, so it had to be in the middle for me. So everyone's going to have to play with this to see what feels best for them. Now, the materials of the mouse are going to be made up of a bunch of different materials. The clickers and the palm rest back of the mouse here is going to be made of a rubberized texture, and then on the side with the ring finger rest here, this is going to be made fully of rubber with a lot of texture to help you have a better grip. Scroll wheel is also going to be made fully of very grippy rubber, and then the middle button over here is going to be a glossy finished plastic. And then if we look at the side buttons, they're going to be made fully of plastic, and some are going to have texture on them and some are just going to be a solid plastic material. Not slippery. I feel like they all have a pretty nice grip. The scroll wheel on this mouse is going to be fantastic. There's going to be no wobble. As you can see here, if I try to bend it to the left or right, it's literally going to be stationary, and it's going to be firmly on there, and it feels like it's very high quality and nicely constructed. And to show you the construction quality, let's do a shake test to see if there's anything rattling around. Literally no sounds, nothing wobbling or rattling, no loose parts, no stones left unturned. This thing was designed with quality in mind. Now, if we flip to the bottom of the mouse, you can see there's going to be quite a few things going on here. So firstly, you can see there are going to be 4 skates here, and this is going to allow for you to glide smoothly on most surface types. And then you can see we do have a sensor here, and this should be able to cover most people's sensitivity preferences. And then the last 2 buttons here, this is a profile switching button for different games and modes, and then this is the connection options that you can use. So you can use it in Bluetooth mode, or you can use it in wireless receiver mode using the dongle. Again, that's included inside of this little compartment, and you can simply just slide it out, and then the dongle will just plug into your computer, and the mouse will be good to go out of the box. Of course, with mice like this, it's usually not something you use out of the box. All these buttons are going to be programmable, so you would have to go in the software and actually configure these. And let's actually hop on the computer, and I kind of want to give you a quick demo of what the software actually looks like. So once you get the Corsair IQ software installed and connect the Scimitar mouse to your computer, this is kind of going to be what the screen looks like. And I'm not going to go in depth here, but I'll quickly run through some of the things settings here. So if you click key assignments, basically you can go ahead and start changing the way things work on the mouse. If I click on core buttons up here, the tab, and I can start reassigning things and telling them what to do. And the way to do an assignment is you click the plus here and you can, give it a command, a text, a macro, whatever you wish. If I do the side buttons, these are the side buttons that are located on the sides of the mouse here, and all of these 1 through 12 can be configured on the side over here. So if I go ahead and click number 1, for example, I can just select it and then I can give it an assignment. And the way to do it is you create an assignment and you just drag it into the box, and then this basically configures what you want to do. And again, here's all of the things you can do. You can launch apps, you have media controls, profile switching, macros, a lot of functionality here. Then there's going to be lighting effects, and this is going to be pretty straightforward. You can basically create a lighting effect here by clicking the plus button, or if you have other ones used on other Corsair products, you can use them on this mouse as well. And there's static colors that you can choose from. There's gradients, you just click it and then you can have it start with a specific color and really configure what type of lighting effects you get. Then there's going to be DPI settings, which basically allows you to configure how fast the mouse goes at different stages. Then you're going to have surface calibration, which requires for the USB A to C cable to be plugged into the mouse. And then there's going to be the actual device settings where you can adjust things like brightness, the status of the battery, sleep mode, and a few other settings here. And then at the bottom you can see we have onboard memory profile. So if you travel a lot, this mouse is going to be perfect for saving all your settings onto there between different computers. So this mouse is going to have RGB lights on the back of the mouse as well as the sides. And you can't see them here too well, but if I dim my lights, you can see that the lights are flashing on the buttons here, every single one, as well as of the back of the mouse with the Corsair logo. And in terms of wireless connectivity, you can connect this mouse via Bluetooth or the included USB-A SLIPSTREAM receiver, and the battery life is going to last you for up to 150 hours. And then when we're charging this mouse, it is going to take 90 minutes for you to get a full charge. So now let's do a click test so y'all can hear how this thing actually sounds. So overall, it does sound pretty good. Not the quietest switches, and this is going to be using Corsair's optical switches. So if you need something ultra silent, this isn't going to be the best option. But then again, it's not even that loud to begin with. So I wouldn't say you'd really be bothering people around you unless you're like really spam clicking these clickers and you're like obnoxiously pressing them. But if you're just casually playing and just not used to bashing your buttons, then you'll be totally fine in terms of noise levels. So if you're an MMO gamer that has a lot of hotkeys and macros you got to use, then this thing's going to be perfect with its 16 customizable buttons. It's also going to be great if you're someone that doesn't game much and needs something for productivity, because you can assign every single button to do something specific based on which app is open. Now, we did briefly cover the software without going into too much depth into everything. So if you want to see a detailed software review video, be sure to click the video up here. With that being said, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.